Hey guys, Joe with Carmel Car Audio, and today I'm working on this classic Mercedes-Benz from 1986. We are taking out the aftermarket Kenwood single-din and putting in the factory radio to give it the factory look, but we are adding a AM/FM modulator. What's an AM/FM modulator? Stick around and find out to see what it does and how it's installed. Here's the Kenwood radio. We want to get rid of this. We're actually going to pop this bezel off here, and we're going to put the factory back in. I got not a clue what this looks like behind here. Could be a good job, it could be a mess. I really don't know. But we're going to pull this out and then go back to the factory. But let's get that factory out first. Not the factory, but the aftermarket. And then let's go ahead and hook this back up and make sure this is still functioning. Removing this radio proved to be a little bit more difficult. It usually is ISO mounted with a cage, but they wound up using some back strap, a self-tapper, and going through the glove box. Before I get too much further, I want to revert this back to factory. Good thing we got the factory plug right there. My finger's at. It's a factory plug. Yeah, another one right here, but we're still missing a few of them. So I'm gonna work my magic. I'm gonna revert this back to factory and try to get this thing back up to normal operating standard, and then we're going to get into the magic of the AM/FM modulator and do some really cool stuff with this thing. So right now I'm just undoing everything they did, using the multimeter here in a minute to identify wires, identify hot, ground, ignition, left, right, so on and so forth. This way I can get a data of information about what's what, and then start implicating my side of things back to the factory. Okay, so I'll have to do a lot more work on the factory radio than anticipated. Not a big deal. Luckily, I was able to find a diagram online of this radio. Surprisingly, seriously. But with that being said, these two wires here, those two plugs that I know it's really hard to see, are not in the car. Whoever did this before snipped it off, chucked them, threw them away. So I'm currently having to repin and make pinning positions for this to make into the car. Got to figure out why it doesn't have constant. Hopefully just a blown fuse. Hook this up, hook up the new speaker leads, run a ground to here for the chassis, and then power antenna to this, and then we can get to this part. But I have to fix this first. So back to it. Making a harness for this radio from factory with aftermarket equipment proved to be a little difficult, but I got it. Now, we did take this to the car. As always, we're going to use test tape and make it look as factory as possible. But here in a minute, you're going to see me running some other wires to the glove box. That is going to be for a relay box and some pretty cool features that I'm going to go over here in a little bit later in the video. But as always, we will make this thing look as OEM as possible, always making sure connections are solid and it just looks clean. So I've cleaned up some of the wires and I've got some stuff pre-wired to go over here. If you look right here, this is the factory AM/FM antenna plug, and we're plugging it into here, and what this box is doing is it's going into the AM/FM modulator. That has to have an RCA input for like auxiliary or your aux cord. Well, we've got this piece here. When we power it on, is a Bluetooth module with RCA outputs into the module, and then has another antenna output. So we have the antenna coming in to the module, Bluetooth going into here, and when you turn this on, it has another output. This will plug into the radio. So when you turn this on, it cuts the connection here and feeds connection from RCA to here, so your AM/FM now has your Bluetooth signal. And then if he doesn't want to use it, we simply flip a switch, and now it's a pass-through from here to here, and you have your AM/FM again. So let's clean this up, let's hide it, and see how it functions. I thought taking it out was hard. This thing proved to be a super snug fit, but I got it. Now from here, this is some really cool stuff. I'm going to explain it here in just a minute, but I'll tell you right now, I'm a glutton for pain. Didn't have to do this, but I decided to do it because I thought it was, oh man, that's cool. As you saw on the bench, had the AM/FM module, had the Bluetooth module, and had RCA outs, went into the AM/FM modular, and then the module goes inside the car. Now here's the thing, it has a little toggle switch on that module. That car in there, he wants to keep OEM as possible. He wants nothing as far as a button of any sorts, and if it has to be, wants it hidden. Now here's where I got my creativity behind me and decided, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and hook this up and use some relays. Off camera, I did some testing on the switches up top and the glove box and got a couple of different ideas going. So this right here is a latched on-off output using a single momentary negative pulse positive output relay wiring diagram. That is a mouthful. We have our switch. So we'd still have to have a switch of some sort to turn it on and off, being negative, and that being our output, and this being our input, and then we're using 2 diodes to make it latching, and then every time you tap it with the ground, it turns it on or off. So what I did was I hooked this up, but then if you can look here, I took this lead and I actually made a cut in that lead because it's supposed to go to a switch. We'll get back to that here in a minute. I took this lead and I ran it to another relay like this. So I took that wire, I ran it in to the terminal 30. So I ran 87 and 85 to my trigger ground, and then over here, being my positive, I'm running that to my positive trigger. But to give you an idea, I'm sure you saw the time lapse of me putting all this together. It's a lot of relay, a lot of wiring, and honestly, a big old confusing mess. And at this point, it's just a matter of finishing up some more wires on my end to make sure that the power supply is actually powered up for the AM/FM modulator, and I'm getting my right inputs and outputs of my triggers so I can have a aftermarket hidden switch for the turn on. Alright guys, so now time for the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and turn this ignition on. Okay, kind of hard to see. Right now we just got basic AM/FM. Without adding an external button on the car, if he presses this just goes up and down with his antenna. But if you open up glove box and you know you've done it right whenever that light is on and you press this button, give it a second, you'll hear it. Now we have Bluetooth. And I guarantee these are still factory speakers. You have Bluetooth on a factory radio with no added button, and we can go back to listening to how we wanted everything to be beforehand. So no added button, factory bezel, everything looks OEM, and there was no ruining the integrity of this car by cutting a hole and making a switch, which the switch is actually right here. Nobody wants to put that right here or drill or put it here or put it here. Now this thing's rusted and falling apart. That may be a different story. This thing is almost mint condition. We want to make this thing look and feel like it came off the showroom floor back in '86. Alright guys, and that is it for this classic '86 Mercedes, swapping out the aftermarket radio for a factory radio to give it Bluetooth with an AM/FM modular, and making a custom button through the factory buttons using relays and diodes. Guys, if you want to learn more stuff about what we do, see the cool things that we're doing later in the future, hit that like and subscribe button. Until then, stay blessed.